The plane Lolita Express was owned by Jeffrey Epstein and gets mentions over and over again in the testimony of the victims and by Jeffrey Epstein himself on his emails as a key place to his crime, saying that if he says that he never been to the plane or to the house, you can catch him out there. And also welcomed other known predators, including Lynn Burnell. Jeffrey Epstein has traveled in the airplane, frequently logging 600 flying hours a year, usually with guests on board. He got it after Lex Wexner has sold it to him for a couple of millions of dollars in the 2000s, and abuse was done on the blame involving underage teenage girls that were organized by Ghislaine Maxwell. And people continuously saw underage girls going in and out, but said they did not know what to do about it and who to call for it. And girls that barely spoke English and were from and outside of the US. In the 2002, Epstein has traveled on the airplane to Germany for a week, meeting with various government officials and financial types, and subsequently traveled to Brazil, while in 2003, Epstein has flew to Cuba aboard his plane with Colombian president at the time. So this was actually a way for him to relocate into Cuba in order to escape the U.S. law enforcement. Epstein was under investigation at the time from the U.S. law enforcement, so he wanted to actually escape by going there. Epstein has sold the aircraft in 2017, and it was subsequently destroyed. Jane Doe 3. So when we use the name Jane Doe, we mean that the victims wanted to protect their identity and their name. So Jane Doe 3 has alleged being forced to have relations with an associate of Epstein on private plane. Victims often they were young and from disadvantaged backgrounds, foreign and not speaking English well, recount being lured by Epstein associate Ghislaine Maxwell with promise of job opportunities, money, modeling, and massage, and so on. The environment was designed to make them feel special and privileged, only to then isolate them and control them and abuse them. Survivor described being flown on the private jet to Epstein's various residencies, including his Little, St. James, and homes in New York, Palm Beach, New Mexico, to isolate them from the world. And Virginia Roberts, which has been the most visible victim or survivor, she recounts being trafficked into the ring when she was only 16. Her story details being used for, abuse by Epstein and then trafficked to his powerful associates in various locations, including his jet and his homes around the world. She has spent years fighting for accountability from those involved and allegedly suicided a month ago, even though she said that I'm not suicidal by any means on her account. And another survivor or victim, Sarah Ransom, which detailed her experience of being lured by the promise of modeling career and then trapped in a cycle of abuse. Her story includes being flown on a jet and subjected to repeated sexual assaults, which she says left her psychologically shattered. While Nike Jew, which is Nadia, identified in some reports as a regular traveler on the jet, her story is one of the aspiring model who was bought into Epstein world and became one of his victims. Victims often describe being frozen in fear during the assaults, feeling terrified, gross, and ashamed, and they had been forced to recruit other victims. So they need to actually go and lure girls for really little money to benefit Epstein. And they would continuously describe it as the worst thing they ever did.